Hey guys, what is up? Today we're going to be checking out Capcom's 1943 1/6 scale arcade machine from Replicade and New Wave Toys. I've got, as you can see, a whole bunch of the machines here. I've got my collection lined up. I don't have all of them, but I do have a good amount of them because I absolutely love these machines. One thing I really like about them is the attention to detail. I'm always noticing something new about these, but I just noticed something today that's been on every single one of the boxes that these came in, and that is the little symbols up here, you know, this side up, handle with care, fragile, and then over here we have hand cart. Like, obviously you wouldn't use a hand cart on a 1/6 scale box, but this is meant to look like a big warehouse box that you would get the arcade machine on just after it came off the pallet. Obviously we don't need to hand cart this today, but I do appreciate the little details like this. Anyway guys, I'm really excited, so let's open this up and see what we've got. Inside here, we've got the retail box. Now remember, this is the second layer box. The first layer box was the shipping box, and then we're gonna have the retail box on the inside here. So yeah, these are really well protected. Look at that. So this is gonna have like all of the promotional information on it, like basically all the features and what it looks like. Look at all the features listed on the back. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's take this plastic off first though. This includes both 1943 and 1942. Now that is the same also with the 1942 over here. They include both games, so you really only need to get one or the other unless you're going for that arcade aesthetic like I am. I love the 90s look of the Dynamo cabinet, the original Dynamo cabinet. So I wanted to have this one, and this is the Overhaul edition. It's got a few other really interesting details that I kind of wanted to showcase in my miniature arcade. And I had to have the wood grain, the low boy machine as well, so kind of get that contrast between the two machines here. But let's go ahead and open this up. Both of these machines also include a second player controller. Now, both of them are gonna have the 1943 style control panel for the second player controller. But the 1943 machine here actually has a storage compartment in the back that is UV lit, which is really cool to keep your second player controller in. Anyway, let's get this open. Oh, look at that. There's the artwork. The plane is going down. Inside, we've got, of course, really nice packaging. The foam, everything well presented in the box here. We have the instruction manual. Now this is meant to look like sort of like a replica of the arcade service manual. So this is about what the service manual would look like, but inside of this is actually the instructions for the unit itself. So this will tell you how to actually use this machine, not how to repair a full-size arcade machine like the real service manual would have. Now inside of this goodie bag, we also have a few little extras, like the little miniature replica tokens. We got 4 little tokens here, and that's just for looks. They don't actually work in the coin slots. We have replacement rubber pads for the bottom in case yours get worn off. And then another little instruction sticker that is optional. You can put that on your machine if you'd like, or you can leave it off. But yeah, let's take a quick look. We're not going to go through the whole manual, just give you an idea of what we've got in here. Here's the list of all of the machines released to date. Oh, this Centipede is the only one I wish I had. Now, when these machines sell out, they are limited. When they sell out, the prices tend to skyrocket on them. So I hadn't heard about the machines until they were done with the Centipede machine. Now those are something like $800 on eBay, maybe even more, depending if it's new or used. There's no way I'm ever gonna get one of those now. But all of these machines, once they stop printing them, once they stop selling them, prices go up. So I'm almost tempted to start buying doubles just to help pay for my addiction. This just shows you all the parts on here and what everything does, this has HDMI output now. So with each new machine, they're always adding new features. Here is the charge cable. So that plugs in the back. These do have batteries inside, so once it is fully charged, you can play it on the go, which is very cool. All right, so this is going to look very much like the Street Fighter II machine that we have. This is the original Dynamo cabinet, which is also what Street Fighter II is in. But this one's got the yellow T-molding on the edges, which really makes it pop. It looks nice, but there are also other features in here that are not on the Street Fighter machine. We have this lockdown bar, and look at this little padlock at the bottom here. And this Overhaul edition also has little simulated blemishes. You can see the sort of worn down areas around the coin slots, and the lock bar also has worn areas as well, to make it look like the machine was actually in service, maybe on location, people playing it. Here's the back, where we have the storage compartment for the second player controller. And right here is where our HDMI port is located. It's just got a little notice on there letting you know you may need to change the format of your TV so that it's not stretched or anything like that. Inside the storage compartment here, the controller is nice and secured with little bits of foam in here, so you do have to kind of pull it, give it a good pull to get it out of there, just so it doesn't rattle around in there when you're transporting it or whatever. The manual says to charge it up first before you turn it on, so that's what we're going to do. I'm actually going to plug this into the back of one of my change machines, which acts as a battery bank. So this is a rechargeable battery bank. This also has a battery of its own, so you can charge on the go if you would like, or you can just charge straight by plugging it right into the wall there. All right, here we are all charged up, so let's take a little tour around the cabinet. On top here, you can see we've got our volume right here, and then power switch, and then indicator light to let you know if it's on or charging. On the back, we've got a caution sticker, danger, high voltage. Of course, this isn't high voltage, it's just for looks. But as you can see up here, it is individually numbered out of 3,000 total units. So there were 3,000 of these 1943 Overhaul editions made, and then there were 5,000 of the 1942s. Also, I absolutely love the backlights back here. It looks so cool, especially in the dark. I've got my bright lights on right now, but you can still see it glowing very vibrantly, even under this studio lighting. And then also we have the USB ports for first and second player controllers. If you would like to use an external controller, you can. You can either use this one that's provided here, or you can plug in something like an arcade stick or an Xbox One controller. Then here we have the micro USB charge port and HDMI output. On the side here, we've got a nice smooth textured surface. It kind of reminds me of Formica. I'm not sure if that's what it actually is or not, but same type of material that they do use on the side of arcade cabinets, or at least some of them anyway. And then the decal applied to the side here. This game was available as a conversion kit, so you may have seen 1943 in other cabinets, but this was the dedicated cabinet from Capcom. This is an original Dynamo cabinet, so it's going to be just like the Street Fighter II over here. Let me grab that for comparison. You can kind of see same cabinet shape with those knocked off corners here on the control panel. And I absolutely love the way that this control panel just blends up into the bezel around the monitor. You know, really cool how that looks. Now, these here, they don't just light up, these also serve some functionality. So one of them is for inserting credits, and then the other one is for getting into the service menu. So here we can change several different options, and you can use the arcade stick and buttons to navigate the menus here, or you can use an external joystick. So we have game selection up here. As I've said before, this has both games included, 1942 and 1943. 1943 will be the default since it's the default cabinet here. So yeah, you could play either one of these games. Load that right up. And we'll go back into the menu here, switch back to 1943. I do actually prefer 1943 over 1942. It is a newer game, and it's a game that's, you know, closer to my era the time when I was playing games in the arcade. All right, so we also have marquee light on or off. So as you can see, the marquee is lit on top here. We can toggle that on or off just right into the menu here. This P1, P2 switch is just to switch the player controls. So right now it's set up so this is player 1, and then an external joystick is going to be player 2. We can swap that like this, and so now my external joystick is player 1, and then this will be player 2 by default. If you plug in 2 controllers, then you'll have player 1 and player 2 both on the external joystick ports. We also have an option to simulate scan lines. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on and show you what that looks like. So of course, because this is a vertically oriented monitor, the scan lines will run vertically, as they should. We have the backlight adjustable here, so you can make it brighter or dimmer. And then of course the attract mode audio, if you would like the game to play audio while it's sitting and nobody's playing it, then you can turn that on there. I like to leave mine off just so that the machines aren't making too much noise. If I want to display them, I can display them without them making noise, but that is entirely optional. And then of course we got a battery indicator down at the bottom there. So yeah, like I was saying, you can actually play this with an Xbox controller as well. You know, something more comfortable, whichever you prefer. You can also use an arcade stick. Some arcade sticks are compatible, but not all arcade sticks will be compatible. PlayStation 4 controller, you know, pretty much most controllers that have a USB port will be functional on here. Ah, I love this game. This game is, to me, this is so much better than 1942, but I know there are some of you that really appreciate 1942, and that is a game that, you know, I know a few people that are able to completely pass all of the levels in it in one credit, which is awesome. Anyway, super cool. So as you can see, I am running this entirely from the internal battery. I do not have it plugged into the charger. Oh yeah, on the bottom here, we've got some rubber feet, and you can see it is an officially licensed product from Capcom. This is Replicade Amusement from New Wave Toys. And it did come with those extra replacement rubber feet, and just in case these get knocked off or lost, which is always nice. On this control panel, actually, I wanted to show you, because it is a little bit different from the Street Fighter control panel. So far they've been including a second control panel with games that are 2-player, because as you may have noticed, these 1/6 scale arcade machines are very accurate, with one exception. Obviously, they had to take some sort of artistic liberty with the control panel in order to make it playable. They couldn't fit both player 1 and player 2 controls on here. So instead, we get a separate control panel for player 2. And these are really nice clicky joysticks. These use actual micro switches, which this 1943 actually does use micro switches, so they're always true to the era. For example, the 1942 Lowboy machine here was a bit older, so it uses leaf switches. And this is a lot more, kind of a more spongy feel to the buttons, and then the controller's a little bit more loose. This one, newer style, clicks. And the older style is nice and smooth, no clicking, because these ones originally used leaf switches. I love the little details. That's what I'm talking about with New Wave Toys. The attention to detail is just incredible on these things. It never fails to impress me. All right, guys, well, this has been the 1/6 scale Capcom 1943 replica arcade machine in the Dynamo cabinet. This is the Overhaul edition from New Wave Toys and Replicade Amusements. Really happy to have this one in the miniature arcade now. That is going to do it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, I will see you later.